Hi friends, welcome to the GASP Sales Academy, where we talk of matters that can build sales productivity. We are back once again with our very popular Spotlight series. And today, I have my old friend and colleague, Easwaran Rajappan, or 𝗘𝗀𝗄𝗿 as we call him, to talk about his new book, Could Never Take a No, a Lifetime in Sales. Easwaran has got more than 3 decades of experience in sales, sales management across multiple sectors and across the India and the GCC. He's worked in building businesses, he has worked in transforming businesses, and also worked as a sales coach and mentor for several companies. Easwaran's book has brought back fond memories of my own sales career spanning the past so many years. It talks about the tenacity and the persistence required in a sales career to be successful. It also points out that if you are a salesperson, you should never get dejected with a no. Easwaran's book is very unique and, in my opinion, should be a must-read for all frontline sales professionals and MBA students interested in a sales career. This book can be bought by scanning the QR code that is being shown on the screen right now. So let's get into a discussion with Easwaran about what inspired him to write this book and what are the key takeaways that he would like all of us to have. Hi Easwaran, welcome to the GASP Sales Academy Spotlight series.
Hi, Dinkar. It's a pleasure being here with you today.
Thank you, Easwaran. We are here to talk about your book, Could Never Take a No, A Lifetime in Sales. I read this book and I just couldn't stop myself from getting you to the platform and asking you a few questions about the book and about your journey. Let me start by asking straight away that I think, Easwaran is a very useful book for all sales practitioners. Now, tell me what incident inspired you to write this book, and what do you think is its USP, or as we call it, the GASP Sales Academy, the DUVP, which means the differentiated unique value proposition of the book?
Yeah, Dinkar, there was a time when I was stuck in Saudi Arabia, waiting for a rescue mission flight during the lockdown time. It was the first wave, and there was nothing that was happening around. 3 months of complete lockdown. There was stillness around. I started reflecting on my career. Many interesting and inspirational incidences started coming out. There were people who had inspired me. There were circumstances. There were various factors that inspired me. So I thought, why don't I start writing this down, recording them, and making them into a material which people can get inspired, follow it, and they'll be able to upgrade themselves. It's been a span of over 30 years. So I thought I'll start doing it, and one by one I started writing it. As I kept writing, it got much more interesting. There were so many challenging situations which I had to convert them into an opportunity. At every stage, there was a no that was prominently seen. So it was a challenge for me to convert this no into an yes. And I found it by experience that every no has got somewhere deep within, there is an S hidden. So I thought, now, if I start writing, now people will get engaged to it, and they'll draw a lot of lessons for them to start implementing for people who have been in the industry, who are otherwise studying in the institutes or colleges. So it came upon me that I'll start making a material that will form into a book. Now, how is this book different? There are sales concepts that all of us know. Now, what occurred to me that if you need to engage readers continuously on a long-term basis until they get the message, the best way would be to make it in form of stories. So this book contains a string of stories, and each of the stories have got situations, that have got people, there are challenges, how out of experience this comes out into a kind of technique or solution, and there's a sales concept hidden within. So it covers almost most of the sales concepts that is there. So it becomes more interesting when it becomes a story form. So that inspired me to write much, much more. And then today it's become a book, and you'll be surprised to know that there was one reader who called me, and she said she's heading an IT sector. She's got a team she's following. She said, your book helped me give direction in leading my team. Today, wonderful. I'm able to communicate in such a way that the team is able to understand what I'm saying, and I'm recommending them all to read your book. So that's why that's how my book has become interesting for readers now.
So that's, Easwaran, that's really fantastic, and you've clearly given a narrative in the book which I can testify myself. Now, there are several interesting narratives actually. One that comes to my mind is where very early on you talk of sales being results driven, and how you struggled in your initial sales career to take this head on. So can you tell us something more about this situation?
Yeah, from beginning itself, there was a pressure on bringing out something on the table that is tangible for people to feel it. In sales, what happens is everybody comes with various personalities, and they are faced with several situations, and then they have a lot of experience that wish to share. However, what happens in a meeting room, in a sales meeting room, though all these experiences would seem so amusing and it will create enthusiasm for listeners, the boss or the owner of the company is only interested in results, in the bottom line. Now, all these stories would become a big inspiration, a big motivation for people if it is attached with a result. I can just give an example. Some place I had been, some distributor in one of the towns, which I have described very descriptively in the book. I had to go and sort out some issue that was created by the company. And I went through a lot of challenging situations, which I thought, I can go out and share with people. However, it occurred to me, now none of this is going to be interesting if my boss asks me, all this is fine, Easwaran, what have you brought? You were asked to achieve this target. You were asked to collect this much of amount from that distributor. Have you done it? If I were to attach the each and every step of experience that I went through along with the result, now that itself would become a book. Later, he is going to share it with many other people, and that will become an inspiration for him as well.
Okay, so what you're saying is that essentially, no matter what you do in sales, you have to be result driven.
Correct.
Stories are interesting, but they have to end with a positive result for the company.
Yes.
The other point you talk about is doing your homework before sales meetings, being a role model, and perhaps doing things that you may not normally do as a salesperson. So these are, I think, some very important skills for any salesperson. So tell us a little bit more about all of this from your personal experience.
Yeah, Dinkar, I have worked in the front line. I have led a team. I've worked in domestic sales. I have worked in international sales. I was in exports as well. Now, one of the things that is beyond our control is customer. Now, customer is somebody who is not on our payrolls. So there is no reason for the customer to listen to us. So how am I going to tackle a customer who is not interested in buying a product? Be it a distributor, be it anybody, be it a client. How is he going to take an idea or a product from me? Unless and until I have some information with me. I'll just quote a story from my book. There was a time when I had to go and solve a problem. A customer was not willing to take our products, and he's one of the biggest wholesalers in town. And if we were to crack him, he would contribute almost 20 to 25% of the business in my territory. Now, if I have to go and tackle him, I should know exactly what the problem is, what he is, from where it has come, and what is his market condition. So what I ideally did, I kept on thinking, how am I going to solve this issue? And I cannot go back to the office and say it is unsolved. Here is an opportunity given to me.
Correct.
If I had to convert this opportunity into a big sale, now there is nothing like that. There are risks involved, of course. So what I did, I went to that place a day earlier. I visited some major 10 to 15 big customers that the wholesaler was supposed to go and deliver. And I made a note of the products they had and a lot of information I had. So when I went to the customer and I posed this problem, and I told them, look, I need to get business from you. You're a biggest customer. I'm sure you also are suffering because you don't have products that you have to sell to the market. He said, look, Easwaran, I'm not interested. There are many other suppliers who can give me products. Now, your company has not been cooperating with me, and the prices are high, your packing is bad, your people don't talk properly on the phone. I tried to speak to him. I tried to explain everything. He was not interested. Then it went to a stage where he started challenging me. He said, look, if you are here, this is what, if you're going to do, I'm not interested in talking to you. If you want to go, look for somebody else. That's exactly, I had some data with me because I have worked in the market. I put the data in front of him and I told him, look, I have gone and taken an orders worth X amount. Those days it was about, even 25,000 rupees was big. So that is the orders I've taken. And I know in your godown, you don't have stocks to supply. How long is it going to take for me to appoint somebody else in your place? Because I have an order in my hand. He didn't like it. He flared up. He said, what, you're trying to control me? I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to give you any orders. I'm sorry. I said, fine. By evening, if I don't get it, I'm going to go and appoint somebody else. So one led to another, one led to another. In between, he got phone calls. It ended up in a note that he said, look, Bhaiya, I understand. And somehow he got convinced that there is a business opportunity that he will lose if he doesn't, take the products from me. So the entire experience or the situation ended with me collecting big orders plus collection and everything, and it became amicable later. So what is important is homework. Be ready with competition, be ready with prices, be ready with all product information, customer details, so that it makes you strong and confident to face any kind of situation.
That's very interesting, Easwaran. Can you tell us which year was this?
This was sometime in 1990s, early 90s.
And we are looking now at 2022. And you still think this is as relevant today as it was maybe 30 years back?
It is very much relevant today. Today, the only thing that has changed is that is digital media. And that is e-commerce, which is driving the business. So you got ample information on your hand that you can collect. Very commonly they say, look, YouTube has got all the information or Google has all the information. If that were true, everybody would be rich, thin and happy. Correct. So this information we need to collect it and show it to people. There could be, a wealth of information in the net. You need to, channelize them and present it in such a way that you give exactly what the customer is looking for. And today, with competition rampant all around us, unless and until you give what a customer needs, he's not going to be interested. And if you take any area, any field, you will find more than 10 suppliers supplying the same product. And there could be products which are superior, which are very good at price. You've got to compete with them. So unless and until you have your homework done properly, your information ready in hand, where you can prove yourself that you're much better than everybody, it's not going to happen in today's world.
I think absolutely right, because the competition is only going to increase further. So Easwaran, you talked of several skills now, as in our discussion so far. Two important ones which you have touched upon in your book is about sales, negotiation, and persistence. I would like you to spend some time on this and talk about your own learnings in your sales journey on this.
Well, Dinkar, one of the greatest learnings I've had is when I had gone along with you several years ago in Dubai.
Yes, of course. Yes.
It was one of the biggest customers where we need to open a business. There was a new product we are launching and we had huge plans. And I was quite apprehensive because I had approached this customer earlier and he was not willing to open up. So with great difficulty, I had fixed an appointment and I had gone. I remember the way you had put it across to the customer. You never touched about the product or its price. All you did was you asked me to take the pack and keep it in front of his table. That's all. Nothing else to discuss. You started talking about, first thing is, of course, since the time was given to us, you asked him about his, this business and all that. Then you went on to describe about company's plan, company strategy, 3-year strategy, how and the kind of budget that company has. The moment you mentioned budget that was in millions of dollars, his eyebrows went up. Now that was a tip off. For him, he is now all receptive. So he knew that there was something he's going to get. And then he spoke about how the factor that was contributing to the company. And he was completely receptive. He didn't even pick up the phone call that he was getting. That's exactly you brought in. You said, look, all this is not possible if I don't place my product in your store. But then you got huge policies, blah, 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 blah. Now, for us, one leads to another. We need to start off somewhere. He said, yeah, fine. You got a big budget. Why don't you give me huge percentage, like 15%? Look, then you told him, now all that is possible, not an issue. If I give you 15%, the product doesn't move. You'll take a lot of products. No. Let's go step by step by step. We'll open up the business. We'll take it in such a way. We'll support you with the product. And you gave a complete scenario of what is possible. Since he was receptive, he got everything and we got the deal. And we got the product in with a very, very nominal percentage.
So that's a good memory of you just jogged my memory. And you're right. And, I owe the thanks to my mentors who have coached me in the past. So it only proves that the science remains the same, no matter, I think this was in Dubai. So whether it's Dubai or Mumbai or Kolkata or Delhi, the process is always the same. So that's great. Thanks for, reminding me about that. And what about persistence?
Persistence is, now there are several no's that you're going to face when you're in the market. Moment you enter a market is going to say your price is high. Your product looks bad. I've got other products which is giving me much better benefit. It is said that a customer will tell you 7 times no. It takes 7 times no for him to say yes. In between, if you're going to take a no and walk away, you lose a big opportunity. Persistence pays where there is big resistance. And if there is a big resistance, that's a big opportunity for you to sell. If you're accepted to take a product, he might take few quantities. Because he is resisted, there is an opportunity for you to speak about the product, bring out information, and you can educate him and persistently keep following up. In the course of following up, what happens? You build a rapport with him. When the rapport is built, after some time, it reaches a situation where he says, Easwaran, just give me the product. I know you well now. So persistence is very, very key when it comes to sales process.
So I think that's a very important point, and you made a very nice, or you gave a very nice insight that when there is a objection, there is actually an opportunity lurking there with that customer or client to back the deal, but you got to be at it in a very systematic way, or what you call a process-led approach.
Correct.
That's good. So, if I have to just sum it up in a few points, what according to you brings success in sales situations and for people who want a sales career?
As we discussed earlier, one needs to be result oriented. That is one of the keys. I remember a time when we had taken a new supervisor in the company, and one of the companies where I was working as a divisional manager. So we had to hire a supervisor, and the supervisor was picked up by my boss from the market. So he told me, just observe Easwaran. Let's see what he brings on the table. He might be talking big. How is he going to be result oriented? Then we'll take up whatever he says. So one of the key things is one has to be result oriented in whatever he does. Second, the person should be able to act, not keep talking. He should have a plan with him. If let it be targets, let it be a marketing study, let it be anything, any task that is given to him. He should be able to sit, plan, have deadlines, apply those plans, and keep on giving feedback. Keep on reporting what are the reports, what is the findings, and slowly move it forward so that becomes a result-oriented approach. So a person has to be result-oriented. And the third very, very important skill that a salesperson should have is listening. Moment you get into a customer's a cabin or a customer's place of sale, the customer is going to be very busy. He'll be getting phone calls, and he'll be busy with so many other things. He's not interested in you. That's not time for you to be there. Have patience. have patience and wait until you get him and do something that will impress him. I remember when I was a frontline salesperson where I had to go to each and every grocery. What I would do is when the customer is busy in front of him, I will take up some other company's product and try to dust it. By book, it is wrong. Why should I touch competitor's product? But then I would do it. I would arrange it. He'll be surprised. What is this guy doing? That will evoke interest in him. And after some time, he'll be all ears to you. So that's very important. So you need to have the patience. And when he says that whatever he says about the product, listen to it carefully. There are so many situations where I was a person who would be listening, whereas many of the people who have gone before me, they didn't have the skill. So when I listened, 50% of this problem was finished. And then I would ask questions and I'll solve it. So I feel these are the key skills that a salesperson can have to succeed.
You mean when you went to this grocery, what you're saying is that you listen very intently to what the customer was saying versus your competitors who are probably trying to talk so much and not really listen to the customer. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I think that's true. We all should listen more, and this is a training that we give all sales people. But it's something that we have to really watch out for. Now, coming to the GASP Sales Academy, where we deal with a lot of entrepreneurs and SMEs and MSMEs, the biggest challenge all of them face after they raise their funding and they've sorted out everything else is actually sales. So your book could never take a no, a lifetime in sales. How do you think it's going to help entrepreneurs and the smaller organizations?
Well, my book has got several stories which can connect directly to startups and entrepreneurs. Now, one of the things, the entrepreneur or a startup companies, they're all enthusiastic. They put in money, they want results. It's obvious. It's of course, that's why they are in business. They need to see profits. But there's a process that is involved. Looking at the market, looking at the factors, environment, it's very easy to say that this market has got potential to take so much products or so many units of products. Just go out and sell. However, you can have the planning in place. You can have umpteen number of meetings, have case studies, refer to big companies and their market conditions, and talk about it and make your own plans. Who is going to execute it? And what are deadlines that you have? How are you going to improve on the limitations that you have? So this is one thing I've noticed. People have plenty of meetings. However, when it comes to execution, that's taken a back seat. Nobody takes responsibility. And moment a person gets a no once or twice, he doesn't want to pursue any further.
Correct.
So it's very important that you have a plan. You have a plan in place, and you need to have an action plan also. Just to share one incident, there was a time when I was trying to get a consultancy contract from a company. I was surprised. I put forth my plan and I went and met the managing director. He was impressed by the bounded file that he saw. And after some time, he rose up from his seat, he went to the next cabin. He brought 3 different such files and he showed it to me. Look, Easwaran, I've got excellent plans. I went through them. Those plans looked much better than mine. I was like, wow, why is this? What's happening? He said, Easwaran, look, you have experience. Your plans are definitely far, far superior than that. But these are plans. I don't see any action points. I don't see any execution process in your plan. It's very easy. Now, where are we going to end up? Have you made first phase plan, second phase plan, third phase? Supposing you fail in first phase, what is the backup plan? What is it? I want to see that. And we sat through that for hours and hours together. Within a month, I had a plan which had execution in place, which involved customers, which involved vehicles, people, which involved offers, marketing activity, everything was in place. If you look at that action plan, it looked like we are already a winner. The sale was already in our hand. It was to that extent. It was a great lesson for me. I made an action plan. It was very easy for me to implement because I had a complete comprehensive execution plan with me. So it was implemented in phase. Within 6 months, the sales went up by 13 to 14%. And the management was happy. And that was great, biggest experience. And I mean, these are a string of experience that made me to, write this book in story form so that people can draw lessons out of it. Yeah.
So the point that you just mentioned is very relevant for entrepreneurs where they struggle with planning. But what you're saying is mastering the execution is key. And there is a science and process. It is not something up in the air. And it's something that, we all can come together and train people. This is exactly what we say at the GASP Sales Academy, that, mastering execution and building efficient sales organization are processes that are inherent and they can be taught to anybody. So you just made my day. Now, what about for students and, those doing MBA schools? So this whole aspect of, never said, never take a no, all of this, how does it apply to these MBA students?
It will be a very good, let's say a beacon for them if they were to go through this book. In academics, what normally happens is, although we have, big institutes and educational academies, of course, they teach students how to take pressure, and it's relevant in the study process they do in the case studies. However, practical experience is far, far different from what is read in the book. I'll just give you an example, which may not be related to sales itself. If there is a candidate who scores very high marks and then comes out as a gold medalist from, let's say, any education institute, and then he has to go and attend an interview on a particular day. He has done his best. He has worn well pressed suit. He looks presentable, great personality. He gets into his car and then he drives. He gets stuck at the signal. And then the car is not moving. He forgot his mobile as well. What will be his immediate reaction? He has not seen that kind of a situation, practical situation. This could happen within the company, outside the company. A boss could be, sitting on his head and say, "Give me results." So he'll be in desperate moment. At that desperate moment, he will not be able to think. This is what practice gives. So he has to, settle down one by one. He should feel composed, organize his thoughts, go park the car by the side, get a phone and call. But at that moment, if you don't have experience, you will not get all this. You'll start cribbing. You'll get nervous. And by the time you reach the destination, probably you lost a chance. This is just one of the smallest examples. My book has got several examples where if the students go through that, the stories, they will know exactly how a situation is different. I remember having attended an interview. In the interview, though, they were impressed by my credentials, my experiences and all that. One question they asked me, I still remember vividly. They asked me, "Easwaran, how many problems have you solved in the company? How many sales challenges have you converted into opportunities?" This is very important. There'll be, firefighting at the end of the month. You'll have orders in hand, vehicle is not there to deliver, or the delivery person is sick. Several issues. Customer doesn't have place to take the products. So how do you tackle all this? This is not being taught in the books or in the colleges. So this book will it'll open up your mind to face any kind of situations. And it'll make you feel good when you read the stories. It's highly helpful for freshers, for MBA students, for students who are aspiring to become a successful salesperson, and for sales professionals as well.
Well, that's nice to hear, Easwaran. And I know you've covered a lot in your talk so far. And it's pretty clear that this book is useful for sales professionals as well as for MBA students. In fact, for anybody interested to know about sales and the challenges and how one can overcome them. So as we close the discussion today, I want you to talk about the 3 top takeaways that the audience who's watching this broadcast today should have as they leave us?
Well, yeah, Dinkar, the three takeaways would be, one is to convert every no into an yes. Go beyond your circumstances. Gather information, and you will see that you will reach your yes. Second, be result oriented. Have a plan which also covers your results. Focus on the results. Work backwards. Third important takeaway that I would say is listen. Listen carefully and ask questions so that you will be able to get the answer from the buyer himself. So these are the three takeaways I would say that a reader can take away from this book.
Well, that's nice, Easwaran. I think these are very important, and I must congratulate you again on writing this wonderful book with your journey as a salesperson over the past 30 years, and using the narrative form, which is so very uncommon, in writing such books, which I'm sure will hold the reader's interest and be of immense help to them. I have enjoyed reading this book, and I am now going to ask the people watching the show that they must buy this book, read it, and tell us their comments, how they feel, what are the takeaways, so that Easwaran can get ready for his next book. So thank you, Easwaran. It was wonderful to have you on this platform, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Thank you, Dinkar, for giving me an opportunity, and thanks for talking good about my book. I'm sure it will make a difference in many people, be it freshers, students, and experienced professionals. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a very interesting discussion that we had with Easwaran. And there is no doubt that the interesting style that he has adopted to write this book will definitely hold your attention for the entire length of the book. It is a great book for entrepreneurs, for frontline salespeople, and even MBA students. The book can be bought by scanning the QR code that is being shown on the screen right now. Do read the book and recommend it to all those who are interested in sales or are working in sales. Till we meet again next time, goodbye, take care.